is in any case just my note for it's not an bidirectional access. We got a little fed up when what people call access very often meant that government information and government services should reach the people. We are very keen that information flow has to be bidirectional, that you must be able to equally influence the other side and not just a one-way thing. This is the M billion award that we're talking about, and we want, as was mentioned this morning, we want mobile phones to reach billions of people. Let's say for 99% we have the technology, but there will always be at least 1% of a billion, 10 million. For a lot of people, the standard mobile phone just doesn't work. And they need special software, some special hardware, whatever, in order to be able to communicate. I am referring to people with severe disabilities, mental challenges, multiple disabilities. And this is not a small number, and these numbers are growing very, very rapidly. There are a lot of other aspects to it. We want that telecom companies should see this as an area to get involved with and to see that something is possible here. There is also a serious problem which all of us face, and that is that we don't find enough trained people who can write quality software. And also, the government is obliged under the UN Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities that all the services that they talk about should be able to reach every disabled person. But as we know, that's not going to work unless the technology works. So how do we address that? So we are a very small organization, and without access to sorts of funds that some of the government countries already might have. So the people we are talking about are also, the people we are talking about are also poor. I mean, India is a poor country. Now, if you have a severely disabled person in the family, then you become even poorer. And you really cannot afford to pay for custom software that might cost millions for you to be able to access the phone. Also, for the same reason, we have to focus on hardware that is really, really cost effective. Now, when there are severely disabled people in a Western country, typically their annual expenditure on technology and related costs, training, selecting the technology, learning all of that, annual, each person spends between $20,000 and $25,000. Okay. So that is not a model that is in any way replicable in our kind of environment. So we really have to talk about free software, really low-cost hardware, and so on. And we're very delighted that that is low-cost hardware has become available. We are also very, very keen that the people who are disabled, their family members and so on, should be involved in the program. Ideally, where we would like to go with this project is that the people who are disabled should themselves be developing the software and the technology that they need. Because, it's very difficult for someone like me to put himself in the shoes of a person who is deaf and blind. So, all of these things need to be done, and of course, very little money and very little cost. Next year. Now, I got involved with working with the disabled in 2001. When Professor Stephen Hawking had come to India, he approached a large number of software companies asking that they should please develop software for persons who are severely disabled like himself. And meeting him and seeing what he uses convinced me that actually, first, that technology makes a huge difference. If he didn't have that computer that allowed him to type and speak, where would Professor Hawking be today? But just being able to do that, and he's achieved so much. So I also, after having developed some software for him, going with the mindset, better to teach a person how to catch fish than to give the person fish. I thought computer programming to blind people for a few years at the National Association for the Blind, and that worked extremely well. I never in my life had such motivated teams. I'm a professor of computer engineering. I've never had such motivated teams in my life as I did then. Then when I started working with children with mental challenges, what we found was that each child is unique. For every person you would need, depending on that person's abilities and disabilities and what the person wants to do, what language the person knows, you need to make special software for each person. Now, how do you do that and how do you make that software free? The only option that seemed available to us was to engage students. When people are learning programming and computer engineering and so on, they look very, very hard and a lot of difficulty for summer training projects. Now, in summer they only have about 2.5 months, and so during that time, how are they supposed to learn a platform and develop software and be able to get something useful out at the end of it? So, what we did was to set up for kids, which is short for special kids, a platform based on Ruby on Rails, which makes it really very easy to add more things to it. So that when a custom requirement comes for a single child, I mean, we work with special schools, and like currently the kids that we're working with, one child has a problem with simply learning how to count. So we make a module in Skip that makes it easy for you to learn how to count. And in 2011, we began work on Android smartphones because they were easily available, not very expensive, and also software development for them was relatively easy. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, the next slide, please. Our stakeholders are of course telecom companies, because we feel that this will create a lot of markets for equipment. And also, say if you're a deaf-blind person and the only way for you to communicate is through a smart device, then you're a major and a heavy user of telecom services. So it's good for them. Engineering students, as I said, their education is very theoretical, and so they need practical training. And here is a way of getting cutting-edge skills and also learning a little bit of about society and getting a little sensitized to the problems of the marginalized users and their caregivers, and that is when you are very severely disabled or mental challenges, even there isn't much government help that you can look forward to. Unfortunately, autism, for example, is not even recognized as a disability under the Persons with Disabilities Act. And so there is a lot of fighting that is needed to be done even at that level. Special schools, again, because they don't get much support, they have a lot of struggling to do with the work that they do. There'll be one teacher for 2 students. I mean, mentally challenged kids. So that's very, very expensive to teach. So, as I mentioned, there are 2 major, I think you've gone one side. Yes, no, or maybe I've gone one side. You're right. Okay, so this is a little graphic which tries to put all of these different stakeholders together in one slide, and we're trying to show how the industry benefits, how the community benefits, how the students benefit, and what is the role that we play in this slide. So, as I was saying, we have a platform kit for persons with multiple disabilities, mental challenges, and so on, which is a cloud-based platform, and works with, so you can use it on your tablets and your smartphones and so on. And now we have also been working on our vibration series of mobile apps. Now, the kit software, because it is cloud-based, it can use input devices of all kinds, smart devices, laptops, regular computers, and so on. It has been designed to be very, very easily enhanced. So therefore it can be personalized for every individual child. It's easy to write. A fresh module is about 20, 30, 40 lines of code, so it's not very difficult. So we have been, and this is a standard interface. I think I need to talk about it for some length, talk about how this has been designed to be suitable for persons with mental challenges, minimum of distraction, and what your choices are in any situation is quite clear, and you can come to our store and we're happy to show you some more. Now, the proof of the pudding, they say, is in the eating, and for us, the success of our training program is demonstrated by the fact, I think we need to go to the next slide, that one of our trainees last summer, Anand, sitting here, he, as part of his summer project, developed an app for people who are deafblind, and that app is, so we are finalists here for 2 awards, not just for the Billions, but also for the Mobile for Good. And so this is one of the finalists for the Mobile for Good award. So in a sense, it shows how successful our training program is, if the output of the training program is also worthy of recognition. Now, in this app, and in general, the work that we're doing with the deafblind, see, the problem with the deafblind is that while there is a lot of technology for deaf people, it doesn't work for the deafblind because it assumes you can see. There's a lot of technology for blind people, which likewise assumes that you can hear. So if you're both deaf and blind, I think, can you go back to the previous slide? So if you're both deaf and blind, then there's nothing. I mean, you have to use a refreshable braille, dynamic braille device, which costs like over a lakh, it breaks down all the time, and there isn't sort of anything that you can use standard. So the only thing that works, let's say, is a smartphone which vibrates, and that's easy to find. So using vibration and using Morse code, it's rather slow, but at least with a cheap device, a person who is deafblind can receive information and then also pass some information back. Exactly. Yes, I'll be happy to show you on my phone, and please come to our stall and check it out. It's really quite easy to appreciate. But Morse, which is a technology which is I think about 170 years old. The earliest technology in electronic communications is something that we have brought back for addressing the needs of people who otherwise wouldn't have access to a lot of things. So there are a lot of next slide. We've done a lot of effort in trying to replicate what we've done. So we have a lot of videos relating to skits. There are a whole bunch of them that you can find on YouTube, or if you go to our website, you will find links to that. We also won a Manthan Award in 2008 for skits, and that helped us a lot in getting this to this one. Next slide, please. Similarly, we also try to put up a lot of videos relating to our deafblind apps, which you can also find on YouTube, or you can go to our website. And one of our videos, we are very proud to say, also won an award at a film festival. So, people who have been working for in accessibility issues, I would encourage them to contribute content to the film festival. It's a very good way of reaching people who are marginalized. What's unique about our effort is that we are addressing people who really have been falling between the cracks. There is very little work going on in this space. That's unique. It is sustainable at low cost, and we are evidence of that because we are a very poor NGO ourselves. And we really are attempting and having some success at bringing in stakeholders of all kinds into this program. And we are also finding good response from students and from Panjans and so on. So we hope that the government will also look at this because it's a major obligation for them to bring the benefits of modern communications and broadband to everybody.